Good afternoon. My name is Kaylee, and this afternoon I would like to talk to you about Christian leadership. Before I get started, I would like to note that I will be referring back to our text, Designed to Lead, by Eric Geiger and Kevin Peck, and Leadership Theory and Practice by Peter Northouse within this discussion. I would like to start off by talking about who are Christian leaders and what do they do. Christian leaders are commanded to disciple people by God's grace in every area of life. I like that part, by God's grace. We cannot do it apart from Him. We cannot do it without His grace and His work within our lives. And it also says in every area of life. So it's important that we realize it's not just within the church. It's in our homes, in our jobs, in our schools, in our community. We are designed by God to lead, serve, and influence others. It is His design for us. He created us to lead. We are to represent God. We are representations of who He is and His heart for people. We believe that it is ultimately Jesus who can and does transform. We carry the message of Jesus and reconcile others to Him. We bring them back to Him, or we bring them to Him. We point them to Him. We die to ourselves so that others can flourish. We transform communities and change the world. And we have the responsibility of leading future leaders. 4 types of leadership, or 4 theories of leadership that Northouse discusses in his text, are transformational, authentic, servant, and adaptive. As Northouse says, transformational leadership is a process that changes and transforms people. It involves an exceptional form of influence that moves followers to accomplish more than what is usually expected of them. A transformational leader creates connections and raises the level of motivation. Transformational leaders are charismatic, dominant, desire to influence, self-confident, and have strong moral values. They are strong role models, they articulate goals, and they communicate high expectations. So the area of leadership that I am most familiar with, or that I have been in and am now working on walking back into, is leadership within a recovery setting or a recovery ministry. And when I think of transformational leadership in that context, it is very much about encouraging and motivating others to be more than what they have been or what they think they can be. I have to be self-confident. I have to know who I am in the Lord. I have to know who I am in my recovery. I have to be confident in that in order to do that. And recovery is very much about short and long-term goals. So as a transformational leader, I am helping people to set those and then work toward those. And when I think about, motivating them to accomplish more than what is usually expected of them, a lot of times in recovery we think of just getting off of drugs or alcohol or whatever your addiction was. But as a transformational leader, I want to show them that they can more than just be off of drugs or not engaging in their addiction, but they can live free. They can live a life for Jesus. They can be leaders and lead others. Authentic leaders are real and genuine, able to build strong connections and transparent relationships. Components of authentic leadership, Northouse talks about 4 different components. Self-awareness. Authentic leaders understand themselves and know who they really are at their core or deepest level. Internalized moral perspective. Authentic leaders use their internal moral standards and values to guide their behavior rather than allow outside pressures to control them. Balanced processing. Authentic leaders are able to analyze information objectively and explore other people's opinions before making their own. Relational transparency. Authentic leaders present their true selves to others openly and honestly. Authentic leadership is a huge part of recovery. As a recovering addict myself, I have had to put a lot of work into the self-awareness, knowing who I am, knowing my strengths and my weaknesses, knowing my goals and desires and dreams. And knowing who I am able to be real and transparent with the people I'm leading. I'm able to walk into relationship with them and just be who I am. And that is so important to them because they a lot of times have been lied to. People in their lives haven't been who they have seemed to be. So as an authentic leader, I just want people to know that they can know what they're getting when I walk into the room. They know what to expect. Another area that is that I no longer allow outside pressures. I have my own internal moral perspectives and values, and I no longer allow outside perspectives or outside pressures to dictate my behavior and the choices that I make. But at the same time, that balanced processing, I can analyze information, I can explore other people's opinions and kind of get where they're thinking before I make my own decisions or own judgments about situations and or people. The next is servant. And Northouse says servant leadership emphasizes that leaders be attentive to the concerns of their followers. They empathize with them and nurture them. Servant leaders put followers first, empower them, and help them develop their full personal capacities. Furthermore, servant leaders are ethical and lead in ways that serve the greater good of the organization, community, and society at large. Within a recovery community, servant leadership is huge. I often am dying to myself. I often am putting others first, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I'm very much trying to empower these people to know that they can live in freedom. And a lot of times that looks like setting aside time to just spend with them or to help them to grow and to learn. And it very much is about helping them develop their full personal capacities or their potential. I'm very much concerned with their needs and what their desires are. And last is adaptive. Adaptive leadership is about how leaders encourage people to adapt, to face and deal with problems, challenges, and changes. Adaptive leadership focuses on the adaptation required of people in response to changing environments. Simply stated, adaptive leaders prepare and encourage people to deal with change. So recovery is all about change. You have to change your people, places, and things. You have to change the way you've been living. You have to change the way you've been thinking. You have to change your behavior. So as an adaptive leadership, it is very much about encouraging people to make those changes and to be okay with those changes. I know some of the problems and challenges that they are going to face, and I lay that out for them, but I encourage them that they can overcome those. At the crux of Christian leadership, I think it's important to understand that more than what we do for people or how we lead or what area we're leading in, that we are leading others to Him. And I love this quote from Geiger and Peck. God has designed the end and the means. The end is people from every tribe, tongue, and nation gathered around the throne, worshiping Him because they were purchased with the blood of Christ. Regardless of what happens this week, what unfolds in the news, the ending has already been made clear. God is redeeming for Himself a people from all peoples, and the middle of the Bible is the means, the command Jesus gave us. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. We live in the middle. The means to the glorious end is not leadership development apart from Jesus. The means is not leadership development divorced from discipleship. The means is discipleship. He has commanded us to make disciples of all nations, disciples who will obey everything He commands. Especially in this world today, as Christian leadership, we carry the responsibility, we carry the message of hope to other people, that Jesus loves them and He is for them, that they have been purchased with the blood of Christ. And I think that that is the most important thing to keep in mind as a Christian leader is, am I carrying that message to people? In the middle, am I discipling people? Am I sharing the love of Jesus? Am I showing them how to live for Him and to obey Him? So I think that just sums it up, that God has given the end and the means, and we are living in the means and the middle, and hopefully are taking people to the end with us. Thank you.